Hello and welcome, bonjour et bienvenue to Seaview, where Gail Redmond's reign as manager of the Northern Ireland Women's Under-17s commences now. Team news will follow. First, the anthems. Well, some might consider it a baptism of fire. The European champions France here at Seaview to take on Northern Ireland today. I'm Michael Clark, and looking at it, it's a young Northern Ireland squad with only Darcy McNeill, Maya Moore and Gracie Conway capped at this level before almost half of the 20-player panel competed for Northern Ireland in the under-16 age group at Super Cup NI earlier this year, where they won the Premier section against the USA's Surf Select. And on the face of it, it would appear a 4-1-4-1 formation, potentially Abby Smith in goals, a back line of Zoe Knox, Daisy Conway, Anastasia Stanite and Niamh Hassan. Darcy McNeill screening the midfield with Maya Moore, Clodagh Maguire, Gracie Conway and Sophie Kelly-Bradley all playing. Ahead of them is Rihanna Breen in attack, and for France, their starting 11, an embarrassment of riches. 3 players from PSG, 3 from Lyon as well. Cécile Locatelli, their manager, goes for Amber Bouchard in goals. Roxane Bolduc is the only player in the 11 playing outside of France. She is with Levante in Spain. Also in defence, Deniso, Sadala, Berdonkel, and in midfield Dufour, Graziani, Ebelin and Oizar, with Tene and Rafalski in the French attack. And Tene will be potentially one of the players worth looking out for, the French number 9. She scored a hat-trick in their demolition of Denmark and will be hoping to add to her international goal-scoring tally here today. Our match referee is from the Whirl. He's a student in Queen's University too. His name is Sam Naylor, and the young officials taking charge of this one, gaining valuable experience and hoping that football is what we're talking about throughout the game and indeed after it. I'm sure that will be the case. Good luck to our officials here today. Conditions a little kinder than they were earlier. The rain was coming down. We're all well accustomed to that, even with the recent sunshine. The teams are in their huddles, getting their final bits of inspiration, motivation and direction from their respective coaches before we kick off here. And it is as start as you mean to go on, really, for Northern Ireland. Very easy, I would think, when you come into a job, as Gail Redmond has, to say, let's line up a couple of easier opponents potentially, but no, let's start with the superpowers of France. This is the next wave of their under-17s. The majority of those who won the Euros earlier this year are now progressing with the 18s, but that does not mean, as the teams they're assigned to would indicate, that they will be any easier a challenge. So France in their chain strip on the ball, stepping out of defence. Northern Ireland in the custom colours of green and white, as the visitors get the first throw-in of the match, and that will be taken by Sadala, one of the 3 Olympique Lyonnais players chosen from the start. They do have plenty of options from the bench as well, and we would expect to see quite a few subs used over the course of this, so that'll keep me on my toes today. Little ball in behind is one that Hassan was drawn to, couldn't quite get the toe in, but Stanite doing well, knocking that out of play, and despite being a centre-back, she won the golden boot in her section at Super Cup NI. Her prowess from set pieces, something that Northern Ireland would love to try and exploit if they have the opportunity to do so this afternoon here in Belfast. Intelligent pass through by Bourdoncle, just didn't lead to a progression up the field there, and they just need to be a little careful as they're being squeezed. Good work from Northern Ireland and Breen keeping France honest in these early stages of the match, inside 2 minutes. And Breen crowded out, barged over and wins Northern Ireland a free kick. Great work there by the Linfield Ladies player. This is a free kick in a promising position, and once her teammates make sure she's okay, they will seek to test Amber Bouchard. She's putting herself in contention to take it after a little pat on the back from her teammate, and it would appear she's pulled rank. Referee wanting to make sure the wall is back, the full complement, before this is struck. But it will be Breen to try and produce a little bit of magic. How can she do? Well, the referee's just going to warn players about raising their arms above their heads. Doesn't want to give away any needless penalties. Fair instruction from the ref. So it will be Breen. It's over the wall and it's over the bar. First shot of the match, going the way of the hosts, but that one not troubling the keeper, who I don't think realises she has people to get the ball for her. She's just keen to get on with play herself. Hard to beat a bit of enthusiasm. Plays her football at Lens, looking forwards with her kick. Moore getting a little touch in there that prevented the flick on that Ebeline was looking for. Ebeline playing it forwards again there, and Knox just wasn't able to find a teammate with her pass. Well, cut out by Conway initially. Darcy McNeil with the captain's armband on, incidentally, this afternoon, as France put themselves under a bit of pressure. What an opportunity for these Northern Ireland players to take part in the training camp and now come up against France, who will certainly pose a threat. That's what they're trying to do here. Graziani just not able to put it back into the penalty area. Made 3 appearances at the under-17 Euros, scored in the 10-2 win that they had against Switzerland. One of the more experienced figures in this French setup today. Daisy Conway taking the kick. McNeil won the header, and it was a pass that put Northern Ireland under a bit of difficulty. But what an excellent save. Abby Smith at full stretch with a remarkable bit of goalkeeping to deny an early goal here. Possession very easily turned over, but Smith managing to get that fingertip to it. And France will look to continue to apply the pressure here on the hosts. What will the quality of the corner be? Deep into the box. Got it cleared and got that little helping touch on as well. There, Breen, but the green jerseys having to do a bit of defending, as they would have expected coming into this. Nicely mopped up by Kelly Bradley and in to try and intervene. Ebain with superb strength to shrug off the challenges, and then Maya Moore, a little too rambunctious. That is a free kick. That's something people ask about, isn't it? Do players play with the same conviction, the same aggression as they once did? Well, I think certainly quite a few of them do, yes. So will it be the in-swinger from Graziani, or will it be curling out towards one of those players queued up along the edge and just inside the area? It is going to be Graziani, and it's not come to anything. Northern Ireland happy to see that one on its way. Northern Ireland's women's under-17 set to face England, Belgium and Hungary in Group A6 this autumn. This is part of their preparations for that mini tournament that Hungary will play host to. Daisy Conway just not able to pick out one of her teammates there. She is the sister of Gracie Conway, also playing today. They're also club mates at Lisburn Rangers. Proud day for them to be lining up together in this match. First time pass, great idea behind that. That was Gracie Conway trying to thread it through. A little unlucky that it didn't come off that time. France finding their captain and trying to find the rhythm in Belfast. Even during the downpour, Locatelli, their manager, was not letting them take shelter. They did appear very fired up coming into this. Haven't had it all their own way so far. Far from it. Bit of a mix-up there at the back. And this could be the game's first goal. And indeed it is. Well, a little too much time afforded to the French. And they make it 1-0 here in Belfast. Ten minutes played, Northern Ireland 0, France 1. And that will frustrate the home side, who had done well. But just that hesitation to clear created the opportunity for the French to get in behind. Gracie Conway. Offside given there, just confirmation. The goal scorer for France was Ornella Graziani. Rafalski with the assist. Keeper coming for it. And safety first. Sensible decision by Abby Smith as she hurtles back into her goal. That's a good pass. Breen. Keeper coming, trying to prevent the corner. Won't be able to. That's a good response from Northern Ireland. Chance to try and quickly get themselves back into this game. Zoe Knox will be the player charged with taking it. You can see from the corner flag there is quite a breeze, and she'll have to retake this as our referee wants to try and stop any pushing and shoving in the penalty area. So take two. A little less on this one. It hangs in the air, hooked away. France able to screen and retrieve the ball. Bouchard putting distance on the clearance. Stanite standing up to her challenge, getting the better of Jenna Lenatene. Headed back with gusto and sent forward with a strong right boot. Denizo turning and finding her centre back and moved along the back line now as they try and put the passes together. They're being encouraged by their bench, but Northern Ireland able to get it off them, and they've done that quite well so far, despite being behind to that goal from Graziani. It hasn't been a bad start. And they will have the throw in here. Just came off the boot of Breen. Gracie Conway trying to squeeze an air from the French. And Gail Redmond will certainly be happy with the way they're not affording the French too much time. The one time they did so far, they were punished for it, but this is all part of the learning experience. This is why friendlies like this are so invaluable. Good covering challenge from Daisy Conway there, stopping 10A insofar as a throw in, at least anyway. And now Bolduc. Rafalski, good pass inside, it's a lovely turn, and the tip onto the post. Again, another brilliant save from Smith. Wazar thought she was scoring what was a real rasper, but Smith able to fly across and force it onto the woodwork. France showing their ability to create something from nothing. Again, in dangerous territory. Knox just had the ball taken off her too, and sending it forward. But a lot of her teammates have come back to try and help the defensive effort. Wazar, who was denied just moments ago, the conductor in their midfield. Options moving into the centre now. Lovely attempt at flick. And Northern Ireland just trying to get the ball away from Graziani. Eventually do just that. She is a real menace. Cutting in from the left-hand side. Approaching 18 minutes here in North Belfast. Northern Ireland 0, France 1. Daisy Conway sending it forwards where Breen is the lone striker. Doesn't deter her from doing plenty of running. Can be a difficult challenge in games like this where you just don't get much time. Bourdoncle. Graziani. And Bolduc. There are opportunities there if they can capitalise on them. In the middle third of the pitch, they're getting in the way of those passes, and fronts are quite high, but it's so difficult to try and retain possession against them. Knox, that's a great challenge. And that is where you can see, you know, at times your players can be a little isolated in the higher positions. Stabbed through in the attempt at clearance, ricocheting, but Abby Smith has full charge of her area. signalling she wants her teammates to play a little higher up there as she aims for them. Ebeline won the header and it's helped on its way by Roche Dufour. She's the one challenging and, well, initially losing out to Gracie Conway. Conway, who featured in the women's under-17 Euro qualifiers last autumn, recently got a brace on her senior debut for Lisburn Rangers as well. Conversations carrying on between teammates. Northern Ireland not appearing too flustered, having gone behind, which is encouraging. Knox, Breen, that's a really nice touch. She could do with a few players getting up and around her sooner. Puts it into the right area. Just no one had timed that run. But a bit of promise, and again it shows what can happen with the right movement. That's a handball. I think Tene knew that herself, the Saint-Etienne player. Players coming forwards from the back, including Stanite. We've mentioned her goals, the Craigavon City defender. She's more than holding her own in there. There's quite a lot of pushing going on, but Knox just floated that too kindly into the gloves of the keeper. Didn't work out that time, and a very quick distribution leaves Northern Ireland exposed defensively. McNeil trying to slow down the movement. It's a good delivery in. And Gail Redmond's players doing enough to stymie that first wave of French pressure, and indeed the second as they get the throw in. Little over halfway inside this first half. Kelly Bradley will give chase. Not letting Sadala get past her. Sadala is offering. And she'll be left to take the throw in after Moore made the challenge. Has been starring in the Women's Premiership in this campaign, popping up with a few goals for Linfield, playing the majority of matches. She also scored in Northern Ireland's 2-0 win over Turkey in March, which I'm sure is a real career highlight. That's good play. Breen just met with a metaphorical brick wall there in many ways. Knox got the toe on it. And France trying to find a way through. Hassan read the situation. Cleared into touch. 10-8. Just trying to get that angle, and she wasn't allowed it. France have the corner, but that was well blocked. Now, France's under-17 women's team preparing to try and get themselves to the next Euros in Sweden. That's the dream to be there next May. This is the start of their preparations. They've got a goal, they're looking for a second. Smith was impeded there, and the referee has blown the whistle for the free kick out. Free kick given against Maya Moore, who's just assisting the referee replace the ball there. France trying to find a way in behind again, and that was an important touch just to take it off the boot of the striker. After that pivot away initially, Tene thought that was going to be her chance for a goal. Taken off for two. Timely intervention. And Smith might be called into action here in a moment. Searching ball into the middle, which Hassan sends clear. Conway facing the wrong way and outnumbered, but unflustered. Well, she appealed for the throw-in, hasn't gone in her favour, and her teammates just need to refocus and make sure they don't present too much time on the ball for France here. Denizou doing well, forced into a sprint. Bolduc. 10-8. Great close control from her. Stand out like granite there. Wasn't going to be chipped away at. And looking at this at 28 minutes played, I think Gail Redmond will be pretty happy with what she's seen. You know, this is a big challenge stepping out against France, and defensively they've been fairly resolute. And naturally, like any team, things to work on, but early stages quite encouraging. Wouldn't doubt that Tanya Oxtoby will be watching along as well, the new senior manager, looking at some of the future stars of the women's team here today. Offside flag given there. But an exciting time for women's football as a whole in Northern Ireland. You're seeing the growth of the top flight, the competition outside of that as well, and the success in recent times of the senior women's side, with role models created for players of this age and much younger, all to aspire towards, to try and replicate and emulate. And a manager who will certainly, not just at this level in Gail Redmond, but with Oxtoby, who will put the standards in place. France come forwards. Curled in by Tenney, taken away by McNeil, but it will be a corner. Both managers pacing their technical areas, watching intently. As Graziani tries to find somebody in a white jersey. Instead, it's the white of the side netting. Breen got the touch on, just not quite able to direct it in a more favourable fashion for Sophie Kelly-Bradley. That's Kelly-Bradley on the ball there, but three players around her, quite a difficult ask. Wazar moving it along. Dufour thought about the shot, she's amongst those queuing in the centre. And Conway sticking a leg out to send it behind for the latest French corner. Only leaving one outfield player towards the halfway line, the rest committed higher up. Stanite bravely heading that one away. I think she felt the full force of that as it came in with pace. Didn't deter her. Giving a little wave to her teammates to say she's fine anyway. Would expect nothing less. France still leading from that Graziani goal. Good change of direction from the Paris Saint-Germain midfielder, Ebeline. Wazar just running out of room. Pretty congested on that touchline. Going to be a free kick. The referee tried to play the advantage. Rafalski was pulled back. And Northern Ireland will need their wits about them here. Will it be a direct shot, or will France try and create something with a set piece? I think the option of a player just to the left of the free kick taker is something that the home side need to be wary of. And that is the message that's been passed across. But they're trying to work out whether they want an extra body in the wall. So it will be the French skipper. And over it goes. Now this little exchange in the centre is one that has been a recurring battle, and one which will be observed, I think, going forwards by the referee. That between Anastasia Stanite and Ebain. Two competitors. Northern Ireland dealing with the pressure, back defending, just leaving Breen up towards the halfway line as we have just over 9 minutes of the first half remaining, plus whatever time the officials add on. Denizou. Ball came back towards her, but just taken away, and that's very nicely done by Rihanna Breen. And fair challenge, says the referee, to 4. Northern Ireland were appealing for the free kick. Ball just not breaking there to allow a breakaway for Kelly Bradley. How she would love to try and get her on at the back line and see herself in those more advanced areas. It might still come. Breen was not far away there from stealing that off the toe of Bouchard. Knox getting there ahead of Graziani. 2-4. Well, you get the sense that they're happy for France to knock it around in those sort of areas. It's here that they don't want them being able to unlock anything. Hassan did enough, had the cover there as well, should it have been required, but goal kick to Northern Ireland. Daisy Conway will keep up her goal kick duties. Knox stepping in and getting rid. The ball will have enough on it though, just across the line. Bouchard happy to allow that to happen. And France certainly haven't been able to have it all their own way as they might have desired. But they have been the team with the better chances, as one would expect. That did take a little touch along the way. Corner count rising. Smith will try and organise her defence. Two players on that front post, one on marking duty. In comes the ball. And that is what Moore will give you every time. She doesn't shirk her responsibilities, she doesn't shy away from challenges. Lovely take of the ball and turn by Wazar. To 4. France searching for a second goal before we get to half time. They have a free kick here. Knox just catching her opponent. Everyone trying to pick up someone in the centre. Graziani's delivery. Stanite again getting there. And the referee's just going to make sure everybody's okay. That was a louder sound than it was a collision. It's just with the boarding so close to the side of the pitch, it can often lead people to be a bit more nervous than needs to be the case, and thankfully that is the case that time too. Speculative attempt, but the French skipper not able to keep her strike down on this occasion. She has had a good first half, as has Abby Smith, the Northern Ireland keeper, with 2 really top saves. Nothing she could do about the goal that so far stands between Northern Ireland and France. Well, you don't need me to tell you can't do that. No shortage of fight in Breen, but on the wrong side of the official that time. Northern Ireland getting the decision given in their favour from the referee, Sam Naylor. Looking for a big end of the first half with just a couple of minutes remaining. Wazar weighted that one well, got beyond Conway, and now Denizo. 10-8, setting herself, but not quite adjusting herself correctly there. Maybe the presence of Hassan doing enough. A little disguise from Rafalski allowed it to reach her, but Northern Ireland again handling their defensive responsibilities well. Kelly Bradley getting the slight touch on that. Nothing slight about the clearance. As Rafalski finds Defoe, and Denizo again showing her pace. Maybe hasn't got to show it enough yet. France have tried to work this side quite a bit. Bounce just took it away from Clodagh Maguire there. Would have been an opportunity to find Breen Hatchie, who got it under control, but just didn't happen for that time around. The fourth official down in front of us has indicated there will be a minimum of 2 additional minutes. Breen, lovely turn. Well, every time she gets the ball, she's trying to do something positive. They can at least get the throw in and get a few more players higher up here. It's always the catch-22. You want to be positive, you want to be attacking, but you equally need to respect your opponent and don't want to be caught out. I think in the grand scheme of things, if it is going to be 1-0 at half-time, there won't be any complaints from the home team. 1 minute of the stoppage time gone. As Sadala takes the throw, Moore getting in ahead of her opponent, just couldn't get it to anybody else in a green jersey, as Bouchard plays it out from the back once more. France trying to carve out maybe the last attack of the half. It was a free-flowing move. Rafalski getting the shot away, but comfortable for Smith, who took up a good position in her goal. She'll have her own little personal highlight reel from the first half as time elapses. In a half where Northern Ireland had the game's first attempt with a free kick that went a little over the bar, but France have got the game's only goal at this stage, scored by Ornella Graziani, and that is the difference at the break, where the score is Northern Ireland 0, France 1. Welcome back to our live coverage. Just about to get underway for the second half, and changes afoot for France as Messina Fouda Amadou is the first of what appears to be 3 subs coming on. They're also going to bring on Luna Lemore and Meline Rubio. Northern Ireland, I don't think, have made any changes. I'll confirm that in just a moment. Players in their huddle. Breaking out from that, it does appear they have kept the same starting 11 from the first half, which, whilst the French substitutions are being completed, I can just run through quickly for you again. That's Abby Smith in goals, Zoe Knox, Daisy Conway, Anastasia Stanite and Niamh Hassan in defence. Darcy McNeil is in midfield along with Maya Moore, Clodagh Maguire, Gracie Conway and Sophie Kelly-Bradley, and Rihanna Breen is in attack. So that is the 3 changes made for the moment. For the French, who are keen to give as many of their squad today a chance as they can. 20 strong panel. They won't all be introduced. I believe we're keeping somewhere to normal traditions in terms of substitutions. We'll see if that's changed, because things are usually a little looser around friendlies. But I'm very grateful for a 4th official with the board, which isn't always a guarantee when you're trying to keep track of substitutes in these kind of games. But Northern Ireland trailing by a goal to nil as we resume play. And the player that just played the ball, the French number 7, the game's sole goal scorer as things stand. So Gail Redmond happy with what she's seen so far, keeping her faith in the starting 11. And hoping to push on in this second half. Throw in given to Northern Ireland as Hassan claims the ball. Good run that by Moore, just a little too much on it for her as she tried to sneak through the French defence. Ball taken away from Graziani. Northern Ireland picking up where they left off in many ways, winning their battles, closing down the space, showing plenty of fight. And creeping up the side of the pitch as well. Will they be able to test Bouchard early in this half? Knox it is to take the throw. A little bit of a breeze round Seaview. You might detect that on the microphone once in a while. Could cause extra havoc in set piece scenarios as well. Knox getting the call to turn over the throw in to Daisy Conway. Does she fancy putting a bit more distance on it, perhaps? Helped on by her sister. Moore just couldn't quite get the toe on it and defer. Lovely footwork from her. Knox. Brilliant industry, and well, she thought she might have won the throw-in, but it has gone to the visitors. There is a bit of joy to be gained, though, if they can be brave and try and press high, but there's always the fear of being exploited in behind in the space that you leave. Northern Ireland's captain Darcy McNeil picking herself back up. Appeared to take a little knock there, but did well Moore trying to get a foot on that, just taken away from her. Graziani's pace will be challenged there, and although she is very fast, she won't be that fast. Million Rubio, another Lyon player now in the picture, just put too much on that. Conway. McNeil. Met by Dufour. Really combative in midfield. Game not quite getting into any sort of rhythm or flow just yet. That could well suit Northern Ireland. That's maybe down to how much difficulty they are applying here for France and Breen. Oh, unlucky. Nearly broke for her. Made the intelligent run, but was marshalled away. Deniso. Ebeline. And Ebeline back on the ball again. Uncharacteristically sloppy there by France. Haven't seen too much of that today, just miscued by Baldock. Goal kick the verdict despite the best attempts of Rihanna Breen. Well, the kids that have been retrieving the balls working here today have done a great job. They've been very quick. Deniso thwarted in her attempts by Knox. Had Graziani harrying her. Sadala. Persistent, as was Hassan, to her credit, getting in the way. Not for the first time today. Level-headed play from the fullback. Northern Ireland have done a good job of frustrating France so far since the restart. McNeil just looking around for the support which Conway provides. I mentioned the senior women's manager earlier on, Tanya Oxtoby, the senior women involved in the Nations League. They're playing the Republic of Ireland at the Aviva Stadium on the 23rd of this month, and then have Albania here on the 26th. Dates for your diary. This match between two under-17s nations, Northern Ireland and France, and great tackle by Gracie Conway, and able to spoon it forwards. Well, Breen wasn't the biggest person in the fight, but did well, and unfortunately her teammate robbed of the ball in the end. Little glimpses as to what can be produced, the more subs combining. And the goal scorer got her head up but couldn't get her body over the ball, and Graziani pulls it off target in the end. Hope the French subs don't take it personally. That was straight into them. Cecile Locatelli in that white cap you just saw on the bottom of your picture moments ago, trying to bring about a bit more urgency from her players. Denisot didn't get forwards too many times in the first half. Knox had her red there. Sadala. Ooh, the touch stopped it from reaching anyone in the middle. It was a good challenge, but it always does cause a little bit of nerves for keepers that when a defender dangles a leg at the front post. Nonetheless, it is just a corner kick. And Ornella Graziani again, the player standing over this one. Baldock making a good run in the middle. It's landed with her and just taken away. Good bit of defending. Moore. Breen was trying to get there. Denisot got across. And Baldock thought she was going to make it 2-0. Last ditch tackle. Denying France. Tene with a cushioned pass. There was a pull there on Kelly Bradley. Foul straight in front of the referee, who is on no uncertain terms telling Defoe to cut that out. It's been a game played in good spirits, in fairness, hasn't been anything untoward. We're scrutinising the match ball. We're going to continue with it for the time being. And Defoe is going to develop a complex. The minute referee's at her again, just wants her to move back the full complement. In fairness, I think he is correct. And it comes from Conway, and out it goes. No one able to get in there and get a telling touch. Denisot. Graziani. Tene's making the run across goal. Hassan got the block in. A little bit of miscommunication there in the centre for Northern Ireland, but Hassan did well initially to get herself in the way. Moore trying to stab it clear. And the challenge arriving a little late has given Northern Ireland a chance for a bit of a breather as they get the free kick. Moment of danger brought about by that French exploration through the left side initially. I think a lot of positives so far for Gail Redmond to take from how her team have been able to set up here. As we creep towards the hour mark, it'll be interesting to see how long she leaves it before making changes, if indeed that is her intent. Moore. Really neatly done. Conway. Breen. Well, her eyes lit up. She hasn't had too many opportunities to take a shot on, so who could really falter there? Rihanna Breen not able to force Bouchard into action as France decide to make another change, and it's going to be Richelonde to come on. Got a goal for the under-16s against Mexico back in April. More of a defensive player, and she replaces her Dijon clubmate Julianne Denisot. On the face of it, it may well be a like-for-like change. Feels like some time ago, that sole goal of the game, and since then Northern Ireland's defence has looked so much steadier. Well, the feature of the goal kicks in the first half was keeper playing to defender. We've swapped it around this time. Darcy McNeil gets the free kick. They played themselves into a bit of bother, but get out of it with the peep of the whistle. Daisy Conway looking to put a bit of distance on it. Straight back to France, however. Graziani. Breen working back. Knox couldn't find her intended target. Neither side able to string the passes together in there. Very hotly contested that space. And Conway doing well against Lemort of Montpellier. Maybe I'm getting old. It's very fashionable to jog slowly towards corners now, isn't it? It's the sort of thing people have been getting in trouble. But the referees allowed things to flow quite nicely today. Glad to say. Ebeline. Northern Ireland under pressure here and hit with some venom. But leaning back, it was always going to rise and head just off target. Graziani looking for her second, but not able to keep it down. Graziani was quickest to react, but possession turned over and Breen got the better of Baldock. She's working so hard up there in her own brain. Graziani. Sadala. It's a good bit of defending. Read that well. Anastasia Stanite able to flick her foot out to stop that one sneaking in behind her and across the face of goal. Richelonde continues her run up this near side. They elect to go to the far side, at least for the time being. She's amongst those staying in the centre. It will be Sadala to retrieve the ball, as France try and seek out a second goal and a bit of a safety net for them. Here is another one of their substitutes now, Richelonde. Ebeline getting the decision. Don't think Maya Mura was quite as convinced, but that won't change the mind of the match official. Ebeline, who has 4 goals in 6 matches for the under-17s, including a hat-trick in qualifiers last year against Iceland, and one of the remarkable games of the qualifiers in which the French won 6-4. She's sitting deep in the box at the moment, hoping that she might get towards us. It's in towards her, but she couldn't guide the header back between the sticks. Well, difficult one going from back to front to then try and turn it round. And the change is being signalled. It's going to be Northern Ireland's first change of the match as Bernie Ferreira comes on. Goal down, time to get an attacking option on. Got a hat-trick in the Super Cup NI final in that 4-0 win against Surf Select, and has had quite the sporting journey playing for Institute. Cyan Swifts, she had 4 months at Sporting in Portugal before playing for Cliftonville and now Larne, and she comes on for Kelly Bradley, who has had a very good afternoon. Ball kept in play. And tigerish running there. Ferreira's first involvement. Would appear Breen has moved into that left wing position, at least for the moment. Richelonde. Stanite knew to put the little touch on it, and our keeper able to collect. Big kick from Smith. Lovely bit of control that from Dufour, just able to bring it down and get turned. France trying to up the tempo and see if that brings about any more joy for them. Richelonde knocks again in the way of the pass. She's done that on more than one occasion. And the latest French change is going to be made. Leah Suleimani coming on for Ebeline. So a Strasbourg player brought into the picture. She scored recently for her country in a friendly victory over Croatia earlier this year in May. And you see that throughout the French squad, there's goal scorers in so many positions. "20 minutes to go at Seaview." Is there a late hurrah in this for Northern Ireland? Well, that free kick has gone against them. Didn't appear to be too much in it. Little nudge, said the referee. Suleimani takes it quickly. Rubio. Rubio was the player that got it back. Graziani hasn't given up on it. Well, fair play to her for continuing a run. Just too much of an ask. Rubio's a different sort of presence in midfield, a little more diminutive, but she is rapid. And we've already seen she likes to get her head down and run at people. Held up by Tene. Suleimani was aware of the challenge arising. Hurdled that. Trying to play with a bit more purpose, but read by Gracie Conway. That is going to be a free kick. Just a talking to for Rihanna Breen. Bit of a forwards challenge. And again, France committing plenty of bodies into the penalty area. And Gracie Conway has given herself the job of staying glued to Lamore. All the way through it goes, without a touch. And the ball going out gives Northern Ireland a chance to make their latest change. And it's another Rihanna being brought on. This one, Rihanna Murphy of Glentoran, as she replaces her teammate Clodagh Maguire. And Gracie Conway is also seeing her number held up. She's going to be coming off so that Lucy Kelly can play these final 16 minutes or so. Great challenge that from Daisy Conway. And what are we learning about Northern Ireland here this afternoon? Is this the preferred lineup? Is this just one of the thoughts of the mind of the new manager? These are questions that we will learn answers to in time. But what we have seen is a very good resilience, and even after going behind to a nation with the might of France, they were able to regroup. And they have certainly done themselves proud. And with 15 minutes to go, you just never know in football. Fourth official being kept busy, earning his keep this afternoon. It's going to be Justine Rouquet coming on, and the goal scorer Graziani, who has been summoned. As it stands, she's the hero. Nice bit of respect there, offering her hand to the Northern Ireland boss. As Redmond's side get an opportunity here to try and get themselves back into the game. Well, France are wondering whether they should send somebody or not. They're having that conversation. In the meantime, Northern Ireland have got on with things. Danger finally cleared. Hassan. Knox. And the offside flag is up. Ferreira just coming back from an offside position as she went for the ball. Richelonde with the give and go. Bouchard's coming right on the line. She measured it correctly. Good goalkeeping. Ferreira was there sniffing out any potential mistakes. Kelly, Ferreira, Murphy. Tene back deep and trying to help France link up play in their own defensive third, but possession turned over and whipped into the area by Breen, who put just a bit too much on that one. Nice to see that attacking intent is there, however, as they go in search of a late leveller. A measured game plan that has them certainly within punching distance of their opponents. Ferreira got her two on that, and well, might have thought she got the ball, but got enough of her opponent to concede the free kick. Rubio getting the decision for her team. Richelonde. Rubio was looking for that one. And Ferreira showing good presence, leading the line well there. Amadou electing to go back to her keeper. Bouchard over the head of Tene, and Hassan had to make sure she got enough on that so it didn't fall short with the forward lurking. Rubio. Bolduc. Interesting to know the thoughts of the French in terms of how this is going. Certainly, if they were to concede, it would be an entirely different story with their lofty expectations. A degree of pressure on these young players too, given that the previous under-17s went on to be Europe's finest team. An honour to have the chance to step into their shoes and replicate that, of course. It's a sort of environment the best players thrive on. Rubio. There's that pace I was telling you about. And Tene got turned, got it back to Rubio, who's stretching, couldn't hit the target. And as that goes wide, the focus now turns to Abby Smith, who was just caught there as she came out to try and deny the forward. And hopefully this is just a collision and nothing more serious. She's had a really fine game, in particular making 2 brilliant saves in the first half. And I am hoping and I'm thinking that it might just be an impact injury and she'll be all right. That does appear to be the case. Whilst that's happening, quick refreshment break and a tactical opportunity for Gail Redmond to get a bit of encouragement into her players for one last big push in the game. 8 minutes to go. Might not quite come across in your pictures, but the rain is taming down at this stage. Nothing we're not used to, sadly. Well, the official wasn't too quick and forthcoming with their flag there, so I think that's the old, if we all signal for this quickly, they'll go along with it routine. Ferreira staying touch tight to Amadou. Kelly got the initial block, ricocheted back to Dufour, another Paris-based player, Paris FC. Rubio got the call and able to switch it. And Sadala has the corner. Just Riche Londet back defending, standing alongside Ferreira's Just been told to go a little deeper there to help her team. Offering the height defensively. She's now had to go all the way back. That was a late sprint for her. And it was Conway clearing over her own crossbar. Concentration, the key word being shouted on by Gail Redmond. Wanting to make sure her players are ready. And in the end, they didn't need to be. Her delivery not testing Abby Smith. Kelly. That's the sort of pass they're going to want more of. Clever ball. Unlucky it didn't come to more, but allows the striker to get turned. Richelonde was signalling. Tried to take it on herself, Kelly. Did well, won the initial challenge and able to get in the way of that as well. Rubio getting a little lucky, but no luck involved in that next bit. Great skill. Quite an exciting player, really. Mylène Rubio of Lyon. You maybe wouldn't quite share that assessment if you're tasked with marking her. Into the final 3 minutes of normal time we go. Suleimani was trying to get back on it again there, just wouldn't make its way through to her. Amadou's had it snatched off her too. Murphy making sure front had to go backwards. Hassan favoured to get there and did get there ahead of Sadala again, reading it well. Referee stepping in and saying it'll be Northern Ireland to get the throw in now, so that'll be Stanite to take it. Looking increasingly likely that it will be the one goal that does it, unless there's one more. Well, maybe it is going to come now. I spoke too soon. Well, how about that for timing? Roquet rounds off the afternoon for France. The through ball carving Northern Ireland open, and the Montpellier attacker picking her spot with great composure. Northern Ireland 0, France 2. And just when they thought they'd done enough to keep the French down to the single goal, Right at the death, they managed to find another. Defour. Sadala. Good challenge from Conway. Getting it off Suleimani. Kelly tried to beat Richelonde, couldn't do that. Richelonde ending up on the ground. She thought she might have got a free kick, but play went on, the shot was hit, and it was comfortably saved by the keeper. We're into, or at a time now. And whilst I think we can rule out a Northern Ireland draw at this point, there's plenty of positives to pick out. France are just trying to put the icing on the cake. That's not a particularly nice challenge from Knox. And but for it being a friendly, I think a card probably would have been produced there. A telling off free kick. And a little check on the goal scorer, Rouquet. Suleimani readying the delivery. Conway got her head to it. Acrobatic attempt from Jenna Tenney. But again, Smith equal to it. Two minutes of the four that were allocated played. Breen trying to do it herself, and maybe it just bobbled as she went to lift it. The chance of the consolation goal passing her by there after all her hard work. She'll be a little disappointed not to see that one go in. Good control from the fullback. France trying to string the passes together. Northern Ireland not able to find anyone in their own colours. And Kelly just trying to open play up a little bit there. Just needed to get her head up before playing the pass. And that is the Full-time whistle here at Seaview. Northern Ireland giving a really respectable account of themselves as Gail Redmond gets her managerial tenure as the boss of the under-17s and indeed the under-19s underway. The under-17s going toe-to-toe with one of Europe's finest in France, and it was a goal in either half that led to this scoreline. Graziani early on, and then a late strike at the death, giving us the full-time score of Northern Ireland 0, France 2.